Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out. So you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do here. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
The number, 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE is in freedom. And we're talking about all things dogs. At this point, specifically, we're reading an article about what is the most dangerous dog. But, you're welcome to call in about anything that you find interesting. As a matter of fact, we have I would credit our chat room with this story anyway, because somebody was talking about it in there, and it's an interesting topic. I think people like to talk about which dogs are most dangerous because somebody's always got a story. And as a matter of fact, another topic that kind of gets people riled up sometimes is docking tails or clipping ears.
Oh yeah, that is abusive. I cannot go for that.
See, I have a dog whose tail is docked and ears are clipped because I've got a Doberman, right? And that's just how it's done. I'll get into that here in just one second. I want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com was it's launched a trading platform called local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposits, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no more ID requirements to sign up for, and you can use the site, and all the communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. And it is really it's game changing as far as cryptocurrency goes, and I think that big things are going to change there. So let's talk about cropping ears.
Yeah, why did people do this?
Why would anyone cut the shape of their dog's ears, right? A couple of reasons. So it originally started because, fighting dogs, you don't want them to, or even a dog that's intended as a guard dog, you don't want somebody to be able to grab its ear. You don't want a dog to be able to grab a hold of its ear and, give it a disadvantage. So, hopefully nobody's making fighting dogs, but a guard dog, it still makes a certain amount of sense. But you look at a Doberman and you still have these long sort of ears, and it seems like they're now stylized as opposed to really being cropped for that purpose. But there are advantages. One of the major advantages is if you've ever had a floppy-eared dog, you spent some time, likely, dealing with yeast infections and, sort of stuff that goes on in the ear. When the ear's not open and up, I'm sure you're familiar with, say, the way a German Shepherd looks. Its ears are pointy and open, whereas a beagle, for instance, has a floppy ear. So the floppy ear is a disadvantage from a health standpoint. The probably optimal situation is the way a wolf's ear is, but dogs, when they become domesticated, over time, their ears became floppy because, well, I don't know. It's probably the same reason that a killer whale's dorsal fin doesn't stick up when it's in captivity.
For whatever reason it happened, now you have floppy-eared dogs, and I get it. Stuff gets in there, and it can't come back out.
Yep.
Causes infections.
And
okay.
We had a St. Bernard that we kept at my house for several months as a friends, and they had some issues. So we took the dog. Great dog. Awesome dog. But, I mean, I can't tell you how much time I spent laying on top of this dog while my wife went fiddled in its ears. Pretty much every single day we were doing something. By the way, God bless that apple cider vinegar. It sure did the job. All the medications we could get from the vet, nothing. But apple cider vinegar fixed the problem. Somebody out there is, apple cider vinegar. I can't even remember what the name of the one brand that everybody knows, but it has the mother in it. You know what that is?
I don't.
Some goop at the bottom, I guess.
Yeah, I just buy the store brand apple cider vinegar.
Let's go to the phones. We got Greg calling in from New York. Greg, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, can you hear me?
I got you. What's on your mind?
Okay, well, I hate to do plugins and advertisements, but I want to talk about something that I think your listeners would be interested in. I work for a podcast called Politics Weekly, and this Friday there's going to be a 2020 libertarian debate that is going to be up. Some of the candidates include Arvin Vora, Max Abramson, Soraya Faz.
So this is a Libertarian Party debate.
Yes, this is a Libertarian Party debate.
Is this the one that went on in Massachusetts?
No, this is just a podcast debate. This is audio only.
So they got in on Skype or something, and everybody got into a chat room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is it?
It's 1 hour and 5 minutes.
And if I listen, I'm going to find out which Libertarian candidate I like the most?
Yeah, there are 4 candidates that participated. There's Arvin Vora, the former.
You don't need to. You don't need to repeat it over and over again because now you're getting on my nerve. I'm already promoting a podcast on my podcast. All right, for free. So, yeah. I mean, I think that people probably should take a listen to this stuff if they're interested in the Libertarian Party politics. But I don't know about you, Greg, but I'm probably going to vote for whatever the Libertarian is, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm a non-biased person. I don't typically reveal my politics on there. I do a lot of the debates, but I thought a lot of people listening might be interested if they're undecided on which libertarian. And it's going to be on Spotify. What can they do about that, though?
What can they do about wanting their particular candidate to win? How do they handle that?
Well, I know that there's the convention in Houston next year. They're going to have the Libertarian Convention. And people who go, I know it's expensive, but people that go can vote for who they want to be on the ballot for president and vice president. But it's pretty interesting. The podcast, all the candidates made their cases and they all did pretty well. But it's going to be up this Friday. It's going to be on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. And if you don't want to listen to all that, then on Saturday it's going to be on YouTube on the Election HQ YouTube channel.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Appreciate it, Greg. I can tell you this. If you really care about who the Libertarians put up in 2020, then the best thing to do is to sort of get a hold of your state party now and ask them, what's it take to be a delegate? Because I know, for one thing, you got to pay your way to Houston and pay for your hotel room and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's stuff out of your own pocket.
Yeah, because they're not gonna throw you the cash for that.
They may not even have the cash.
I don't think that you could expect the Republicans or Democrats at the convention to pay for your stuff either. So, I mean, I don't think that's unusual. And what I hear is a lot of people complain about what goes on in the Libertarian Party. They put up this guy or that guy. Well, now's your opportunity.
Yeah, if you want to change the way they do business, then get involved.
That's all you have to do. Or you can just sit on the sidelines, complain. That's always an option. All right, let's go back to the story here where that I got actually from the chat room. If you go to discord.freetalklive.com, you can get to the chat room there. It's actually Phil Collins and a few of the folks that are in there are chatting about all these things, all things dog related. I don't know if it's the real Phil Collins, but
probably not.
It's a Phil Collins. I mean, surely there's somebody named Phil.
I'm sure he may be a real Phil Collins, but not the singer.
Or maybe the singer. What do I know? He had George Bush call in one time. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? 1? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com. And it's a place you can send any business. And they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live.
My law proposes this. You cannot say how a movie ends before it has gone through its HBO run. This is punishable by death because I am so sick and tired of people spoiling movies for me that I think we should hang them.
Maybe like movies is a capital crime and books is like a ticket.
Violation.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. Misdemeanor for a book. I'm with that. I'll let you slide on that one. Okay.
I don't actually have
so movie.
But on Netflix, they just put them all out there all at once, so it encourages more binge watching. Right. And it's just a kind of a different way to release things. So how do you deal with that with your proposed law, Dan?
Look, I'm American. I don't think about laws before I propose them.
So we gotta pass it to find out what's in it? Let the Supreme Court interpret it?
Exactly.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are basically 2 types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
You can call in and talk about whatever you want, but we're talking about dangerous dog breeds. And, well, it's up to you. Talk about what you want. I want to tell you real quick about an advertising program that we've started here on Free Talk Live. And it combines radio, digital, and print all in one. I think it's amazing, and I think it's going to really change advertising, or be, at least at the very least, be important in advertising sometime in the future. And we're involved, and I'm glad that we are. So if you are a business owner, this is really for you. But what the program is basically an app. You go to 123.freetalklive.com. It's as easy as 123. That's why we use that. 123.freetalklive.com. And it's an app that will allow you to take pictures and then send the pictures to yourself. So, like physically. So the pictures are taken on your cell phone, and then you say, I like this one, this one, this one, this one. And then they send the prints to you. Now, the prints have some advertising on them because nothing in this world is free, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a special micro perforation tear. It looks just like it was cut. So it'll look great. But anyway, then you get a picture, and the advertiser had their ad in your hand. Because direct mail is very traceable. They know what the results are going to be when it comes to direct mail, but most people throw that crap away. So do you want direct mail that has a far greater response rate? That's what the guess is. 123.freetalklive.com for your business, 123.freetalklive.com. Going on with this article here from untamedscience.com. So, which breeds are more dangerous? They're talking about dogs, of course. Of course, aggression is only part of the issue. A ankle biter may be more aggressive, but isn't likely to kill you. In general, big dogs are more dangerous. But is the legislation against certain big dog breeds warranted? Why are pit bulls often targeted with breed-specific legislation? It's time to separate the fact from feelings. According to a 2000 study, more than half of dog-related deaths between, this is 79 and 98, so almost 20 years, were reportedly caused by pit bulls or Rottweilers. However, more than 25 different breeds of dogs were implicated in dog-caused fatalities as well. Most dogs that are actually cause deaths have certain physical characteristics. They're large, very muscular, and have a low center of gravity and extremely powerful jaw muscles. Many of these dogs are even bred to attack and protect other animals and people. It sounds pretty bad when you look at it on the surface like that, so let's dig in deeper. First, it's pretty hard to identify pit bulls in the first place. Don't believe me? Check out this site. They got a link here. It's sort of a generic term to begin with. That's what I said. The AKC considers them mutts. It doesn't really apply to any one breed of dog except the American Pit Bull Terrier. In fact, one 2013 study showed that it was actually pretty common for media and official accounts of dog breeds to vary in cases where people had been killed by dogs.
Okay, so you can't actually identify a pit bull by breed because it's not really a recognizable breed. How do they get away with banning it then if you can't identify what it is you're banning?
Well, that's the problem is that there is no way to identify something as a pit bull. Oh, I'm sorry, officer, you think this is a pit bull? This is an American Staffordshire Terrier. Or whatever you say. Also, this dog killed somebody, it must be a pit bull. And it bears no resemblance at all.
Yeah. So if the dog kills somebody, it's a pit bull? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. Second, there are millions of pit bulls in the U.S. right now. Most are loving family members. So what causes a good pit bull to go bad? The same study pointed out a host of factors that led to people being killed by dogs. Most dogs who kill people share common backgrounds. They're usually left chained up outside, away from the family where they would develop normal social behaviors towards people. It really is tough to master human social interactions. Just ask any introvert like himself. Oh, that's funny. Many are also abused by their owners. Most people who are killed by dogs tend to be small kids who wander into the dog's property, and the dog, who's never seen anyone else and is suddenly trapped, freaks out. According to, but this is another thing is that, ladies and gentlemen, don't just walk up to a dog with your hand stuck out and expect the dog to be fine with that. You got to give the dog a little room. Not every dog's this way. Most dogs are going to be fine. Like the vast majority of dogs, if you wander up, hey puppy, and you got your hand out, even if you got it out to smell or whatever you've got going on,
most will be fine with that.
Yeah,
but
most will be fine.
Yeah, there will be exceptions.
But you get bit, you're gonna be like, oh, why did that happen to me? I was doing everything right. Well, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. According to Dr. Heckman, some people also get pit bulls precisely because they have a reputation as a vicious dog. They then house them in these exact conditions, and boom, before you know it, you have a perfect storm headed on a collision course for eventual disaster. Of course, some dogs do attack outside of these circumstances. For the most part, though, dog deaths boil down to a simple factor: mismanagement and unfortunate circumstances. The good news? We can guard against this as a society, but maybe not how you'd think. Another thing I'd like to say is when you get a dog and it's young, take it around kids, introduce it to the kids, let it see. Because they don't necessarily understand. Not every dog understands why these little human-like creatures make all this noise and run around. And it's frustrating to them. So, you got to socialize the animal with kids. Another thing, take it around people of other races, because otherwise they don't know. I mean, dogs have been with us for 50,000 years, and they determine, this particular tribe or that particular tribe is their tribe. And they, the smells, the look, whatever of that tribe, they got it. They understand. The other tribes are a threat, which they probably were a threat.
Yeah, back then they may very well have been.
So help them out and just introduce them to different people, different genders, different ages, different races, different all this stuff, just so they get an idea of what's going on and they don't freak out on you.
Makes perfect sense to me.
It does when you think about it. Dog breed-specific legislation, does it really work? In a word, no. Some places, like Manitoba, actually have seen successes with breed-specific legislation. In many other places, though, they failed. Why? It turns out there are several reasons. The major reason why breed-specific legislation doesn't work is that it really doesn't treat the cause of the problem. The cause is not pit bulls themselves. The cause is mismanagement by owners, many of whom happen to be attracted to scary dogs like pit bulls and put them in high-risk environments. As they said, leaving them outside chained up. But focusing on the thing that isn't causing the problem, local governments are actually shifting resources away from more effective preventions like finding and fixing bad owner situations. Furthermore, breed-specific legislation trains people to view the entire breed as bad, when it's just not the case.
Yeah, it never was. And, that's one of the things that I always thought was ridiculous about pit bull bans, because you'd hear about it about when every year or two some city was banning pit bulls because of a pit bull went crazy, and it was never the pit bulls in the first place. It was the owners abusing the dogs.
It's the same concept as I'm going to ban guns or whatever it is that they do. I'd like to point out that there is one gender in America that commits more than 80% of the violent crime.
Really?
Should we not do something about that gender?
Yeah, ban them.
Ban that gender. I mean, you're talking about 80% of the violent crime in the United States is committed by males. Males.
Lock them all up.
But as a male, I'm just sitting here going, that's those violent people, not me. I didn't do it.
Right. I didn't either.
Ban the deed, not the breed.
Right.
Just like the American Kennel Club says, ban the deed, not the breed. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Or you can use the Discord lines. Go to discord.freetalklive.com and download the app there, and then you'll be able to call in and sound really great. It's discord.freetalklive.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. We've been talking about dogs. Here's this animal that has shared with us for tens of thousands of years. It's difficult to nail down exactly when dogs and man sort of hooked up, but it probably started with wolves hanging around for the scraps, or some canine. Let's just use that terminology.
Way back in prehistory.
Yeah, way back in prehistory. Probably 50,000 years is the numbers I've heard, but I've seen people posit 100,000 years ago. And I don't see why not. They call what we are, modern men, and modern man likely existed for 200,000 years. So 100,000 of those years we had no interactions really with dogs except to try to hunt them down and kill them. And I think that probably for a long time, the dogs would hang out, get the scraps, and we'd probably take a few here and there for food, or you'd feed them the scraps that you knew you couldn't keep, and then when times get tough, well, you take the ones that you probably take males. You know how breeders or any livestock is done. You take the males, you leave the females, and those kind of things. And over time, they became probably the kids went out and played with them. Some of the puppies.
Yeah, it could happen.
Because playing with puppies is fun. And then, some of the dogs hung around. Others became, as they became adults, more shy of humans.
Yeah, and if they're exposed to humans as puppies, they're more likely to be domestic.
Just right. And then just over time, they sort of self-selected. The ones that like humans more kind of hung around more. The ones that disliked humans went away and
kept the distance.
Yeah, those kind of things. And so, anyway, we're reading this article here about what is the most dangerous breed. It's from untamedScience.com, and I think it's been great. They really go over some of the best stuff. And then I want to talk to you about docking tails.
Yeah,
Michael.
that's one thing that you mentioned a couple segments back that I just didn't understand.
Didn't hear anything.
Why people do it.
Yep. Let me just finish up the article real quick. Finally, banning one breed won't solve the bad owner problem, because if you outlaw one breed, they'll just find another one. And ladies and gentlemen, think back over time. Which was the bad dog breed in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s? I'd venture to say the bad dog breed in the 60s was probably, just me guessing here, I wasn't alive, German Shepherds, the 70s Dobermans, the 80s Rottweilers, the 90s Pit Bulls, maybe?
Yeah, and it's pretty much been Pit Bulls ever since.
Pit Bulls ever since. Let's see. For example, if you outlaw the American Pit Bull Terrier, then someone may just get a Presa Canario or Cane Corso. Those are big mastiffs. Instead, two other dog breeds with vicious reputations. Cane Corso is a gigantic animal. So what's the most dangerous dog breed in the world? The surprising answer, none. Dangerous breeds like pit bulls are not any more aggressive towards people than any other dog breed on their own. As we saw in the dog aggression study, the fact is they do cause most deaths. That does point to a larger problem: dog owners. It's actually a complex interplay between genetics that give dogs the tools to be dangerous and people who actively nurture these qualities where they might not otherwise have developed. So that's really the issue. It's owners instead of the dogs themselves.
Yeah, the dogs are just dogs. The owners are making them do this.
Right. So about tail docking. People tend to get whipped up about ear clipping and tail docking. And it's not that I wouldn't claim that these things are necessary anymore. So we have a Doberman, and both of these things is true on them. I didn't do that to him, but I know the people who did. He was destined to be a show dog. He's gorgeous. His feet splay out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, you can say, well, that's a ridiculous reason not to be confirmation, whatever. Well, it isn't a ridiculous reason because they have a breed standard, and that's fine. So I've got a gorgeous dog who's kind of duck-footed, and he's great at the house. He's fine. He's a pet. He gets to do what he should have been doing all along, which is hanging out with us. And he's got his ears cropped. They point up, just like a Doberman's would. And he's got a stubby little tail, which he wags when he gets to play, and, that kind of thing. But why would you cut the tail on a dog? This is part of its spine, for God's sake. Why would you do that?
Yeah, why?
There's good questions. First off, there have been a certain, you got to wonder what about some of these studies. Some studies say it doesn't matter at all. Other studies say the animal feels pain differently now that its tail's been docked or whatever. The reason they started doing it was a variety of reasons in the past. Basically, if a dog is a fighting dog, you don't want to leave a tail out there for the other dog to chomp on. If the dog is a guard dog, you don't want an attacker to be able to seize them by the tail and whip them around. Remember, there are very few dogs that are as heavy as a full-grown man. And if they're a hunting dog, you don't want them to have a long tail when they go out into the brush, because if they get excited, like a hunting dog loves to hunt like nothing you've ever seen. You pull out a gun, they know what it is. They're ready to go. They're like tearing at the door to get out. And their tail is whipping back and forth at a tremendous rate. So they're excited. They've got something cornered, or they're pointing at something, or whatever it is that they're doing. Their tail smacks up against a sapling or a tree and breaks. It's a small spine. It happens all the time. Another one that I don't find to be the most convincing is long-haired dogs have long hairs on their tails, and so if you get rid of the tail, then you have less long hair to clean. I mean,
yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
To be clear, docked tails these days are all about aesthetics, all about preference. Now, I know that the American Kennel Club claims that you don't have to dock your tails or clip ears or whatever in order to win shows. Now, I would say that the people who do these shows...
Yeah, I heard a but in there.
Yes, there's a big but. The people who do these shows have an expectation that the ears and tails will be docked. So we didn't have to, my family didn't have to. It wasn't my family, but anyway, the people that my mother was working with didn't have to dock this dog's ears and tail. They just decided to do that. Now, I prefer the ears and tails to be done, and the reason I prefer that is because I don't want to have to clean ears out on a regular basis. You get these yeast infections and that kind of thing, and I don't want to have to deal with a broken tail on a dog. But you got to understand, everybody's got their biases, and I know I was raised with this bias. I'm clear on that. I was raised with dogs that we had Schnauzers, Dobermans, Rottweilers. The only thing that had in a tail at all was my mother's Manchester Terrier, which looks like a little Doberman anyway. Have you ever seen one of these?
I'm not sure.
If you think about a Min Pin, a miniature Pinzer, they're kind of like a bigger version of that.
Okay.
So, you have to research this for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You have to determine. I don't look at dogs like people. I think that when it comes to your young son, you shouldn't go ahead and give him a circumcision, because at some point in his life he's going to be able to make that decision on his own. So you shouldn't do it. That's my belief and but I consider dogs to be property. Best I can tell, they don't really have the sense to have their own volition. So I prefer to tell them what to do, and I make the decisions for them. I decide they're going to get vaccines. I decide their ears are going to be clipped, and I decide their tail's going to be docked. I've never done it myself. I've never, clipped a cat's claws off, but I've had a cat that was given to me. Most of the animals that I've ever had in my life, they arrived at some point.
They were given to you.
Yeah, and I mean, you could choose to call the dog that I have a rescue. I think it's really hip at this point to call things rescues, but he was a kennel dog, and now he's happy to be in a house, and we're working on potty training and making all those things happen. It's a little harder with an 18-month-old dog, but if you have if you have thoughts on dangerous dogs or why ear cropping or tail docking is unacceptable, I'd love to hear your calls, because maybe I can be convinced on this. The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free is in Free Talk Live, or the Discord lines. You go to discord.freetalklive.com. You can download the app there and, call in and sound really great. Now that Ian's got this Discord thing set up, it's a big deal. I'm looking here at the AVMA, which is the American Veterinary Medical Association, talking about tail docking FAQ. And this organization in particular is against tail docking. Now, I imagine most veterinarians have to dock tails because if you don't do what people want, you're not going to get business.
Yeah, they'll just go somewhere else.
If you want if somebody wants their puppy's tails docked and the vet says, I'm not going to do that, likely that person isn't going to be bringing that dog back for everything else. A lifetime's worth of treatment. And a dog's worth many thousands of dollars to a veterinary clinic.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free Talk Live.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,418, silver at $16.38, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,142. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Jeffrey Epstein's longtime personal pilots have been subpoenaed by federal prosecutors in Manhattan, according to the Wall Street Journal. The grand jury subpoenas were served earlier this month following Epstein's July 6 arrests in New Jersey on charges of sex trafficking minors. He has pleaded not guilty to the years-long scheme in which prosecutors allege the wealthy financier sexually abused dozens of young girls from 2002 to 2005. Some of whom recruited other victims. The Mind Unleashed reports it's unknown how many of Epstein's pilots were subpoenaed, or whether they're cooperating witnesses. According to court documents from prior cases, Epstein employed David Rogers, Larry Vasosky, Larry Morrison, and Bill Hammond as pilots and flight engineers. Rogers, Vasosky, and Morrison have previously testified in civil depositions. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. In the latest move to undermine the separation of church and state in the United States, a new law in South Dakota is requiring all public schools in the state to prominently display the motto, "In God We Trust." The Mind Unleashed reports the new law, which decrees that schools must emblazon the message across 149 South Dakota school districts, was pushed by lawmakers who argue that the theological slogan is meant to inspire patriotism. Governor Kristi Noem signed off on the law in March. The law requires that the motto must be both legible and 12 by 12 inches in size. In a Thursday Twitter post, the governor said, quote, "We should never be afraid to proclaim that we are one nation under God," end quote. The new law has provoked controversy in many of the state's communities, with critics condemning the law as part of a stealth campaign aiming to infuse religious indoctrination into state legislation. In a bipartisan deal that one anti-war critic said demonstrates how thoroughly broken and captured Washington is by the Pentagon, 219 House Democrats and 65 Republicans on Thursday voted to approve a budget agreement that includes $1.48 trillion in military spending over the next 2 years. Just 16 Democrats, including Representatives Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Pressley, voted against the 2-year, $2.7 trillion budget agreement. Largely due to expressed concerns about the deficit, 132 Republicans also voted no. The final vote was 284 to 149. The House passage of the budget deal, which President Donald Trump quickly applauded on Twitter as a victory for the military, comes after the Congressional Progressive Caucus threatened in April to tank the measure. But most of the Progressive Caucus voted for the agreement on Thursday, pointing to increases in domestic spending. Facebook has dealt a massive blow to the police accountability movement, unpublishing Police to Police, the largest police accountability page on the platform. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. Hager physicists have created quantum slacks. This is Doyle Redland reporting. The stunning announcement that a team of Hager physicists has successfully developed quantum slacks was made this morning at a press conference in Philadelphia. According to Dr. Daniel Chang, head of the Hager team, conventional notions about the physical properties and possibilities of slacks have been turned on their heads.
We are on the verge of unzipping the secrets of creation and peering into the pants of God himself. It appears the very fabric of the universe may well be a smart cotton twill weave.
However, Chang urged caution in further research after tests conducted last month at the Hager Pants Propulsion Collider Laboratory in Dallas suggested the possible existence of so-called anti-pants, which could, in theory, initiate a chain reaction resulting in no pants at all. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
That's right. It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
And when I say the airwaves, I mean 200 radio stations across the United States.
More than 200, isn't it?
It's more than 200, yeah. Not at any given time are we on 200 stations, but we have more than 200 stations that carry the show throughout the course of its 21 hours per week. Because we do this thing 3 hours a day, 7 days a week.
365 days a year.
Yeah, that's true. There's somebody who's done a show that day pretty much every day of the year, yeah, or a show for that day. I think when we were at Freedom Fest, we were getting a little ahead of ourselves, so there's one day that we didn't record anything for because we had already recorded a bunch of stuff sort of in advance. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, it's still a unique program produced for you on that day. But nonetheless, you may call in and talk about whatever you want. Michael, you brought in a very important story, and I think I wanted to do this one first because I think it's more important than talking about what's the most dangerous breed of dogs, but I felt like people would really like that. And
yeah, the chat, how do they react to that?
The chat's very happy to be included. Well, the chat likes to be chatted about. So in this case, apparently Uncle Sam's back at trying to knock on the back doors of your computers?
Yeah, they're still going at it. I'll try to read this story here if my tablet will cooperate. So this is from Ars Technica. Attorney General William Barr says that technology firms can and must put backdoors in encryption.
So can and must put
Those are his
backdoors in.
words.
Yeah, this has been asked for before by the government.
The Justice Department has been asking for this since the early 1990s.
You know what would happen if you put backdoors in and then allowed the Justice Department to collect that information on how to get in those backdoors? Then hackzors, what do they call them? Black hat hackers?
Black hat hackers will find a way to get into those very same backdoors.
Well, they will not only find a way, they'll find the door, they'll find a way in the door, or they'll find a way into the Justice Department's computers, get all the keys, and then release them on the internet, and then everybody's back business.
Yeah, then everybody can decrypt everybody's, but they haven't thought this through, apparently.
Well, they've thought it through.
Right,
They just don't care. What does the government care if your computer is, hacked into and available to nefarious folks all around the
Does the
world?
government care about your safety and
They
security?
don't.
They don't.
That's the answer.
That does take a little time for people to process, but they don't. They don't care about yours. This is not about your safety at all. This is about law enforcement wants to have access to information freely whenever they want it.
Sure.
And preferably without a warrant.
And they lose information relatively quickly and easily. It's not like it's not like they don't have this information that gets passed around and that kind of thing. That's just what happens when humans have information. They pass it around. It's not information if nobody has it.
That's true. I should probably just get into the story then.
Yep.
So from Ars Technica, U.S. Attorney General William Barr today, which today was last week, launched a new front in the Fed's ongoing fight against consumer encryption, railing against the common security practice and lamenting the quote-unquote victims in its wake. Quote, the deployment of warrant-proof encryption is already imposing huge costs on society, Barr claimed in remarks.
What are these huge costs that my encryption that I use on a regular basis, like every single day? If you use WhatsApp, if you use Telegram, if you use any messaging app that isn't SMS, what do you think that Facebook's IM is encrypted?
Facebook Messenger is encrypted now, kind of. They're supposed to be moving to full end-to-end encryption. I don't think they've finished that yet, but it's in progress.
Look at all you evildoers out there using encrypted software.
Beyond that, look at going to Amazon or eBay or making a purchase online, using your bank's website, using your bank's app on your phone, just checking your balance, moving your money from savings to checking. All of that relies on encryption too. And you want to weaken that security?
Yeah, I mean, let's just weaken some more security. As though, why not just hand out your login information to your bank account?
Just post that on the bulletin board at the laundromat. See how long that lasts.
Right, and I'm sure that'll break the cops' hearts if you get your bank account broken into, because it won't change their life at all.
Yeah, they're not going to care, because that's not what this is about. They just want to get what they want whenever they want it.
Sure. I mean, having the ability to put a subpoena in and get this information, not good enough.
Yeah, getting it with a warrant, not good enough.
Yep.
Getting it without a warrant, maybe good enough. Getting it whenever they want with not even having to ask, that's their ideal. They want to be able to go in and just sit down at their computer and say, I want Joe Blow's financial records, and get them instantly without talking to anybody or doing anything.
It's like NCIS.
Yeah. They want it to be like it is on television.
Pull it right up.
So this tablet's a little small because this website isn't mobile friendly. So this was Barr's claim in remarks at a cybersecurity conference last week.
Which one?
They didn't actually.
I figured
name it.
you would know just because you're all into all of this stuff. Can you explain the difference between a black hat and a white hat hacker to me?
Well, a black hat and white hat are basically which side they're playing on.
Yeah.
White hat is the so-called good guys. They're doing things like penetration testing, going into a company's systems, finding out where their vulnerabilities are so that company can fix them. The black hat is going in to exploit that company, that person, whatever, to get what information they can, to sell it on, to perform whatever other crimes with it.
So are there gray hats? No? Okay.
Yeah, there are gray areas. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anyone ever really.
All right, I just wondered if there were any other color hats. I know that there is a red hat out there, but that's Linux.
Red Hat is the name of a Linux company.
Yeah. Okay. So go on,
so,
if you would, please.
Yeah, not to be confused with Trump's red hats. So,
Trump has a red hat?
He does have a red hat.
Okay.
But it's not this red hat.
All right.
So Barr added that encryption, quote, seriously degrades law enforcement's ability to detect and prevent a crime before it occurs, end quote, as well as making...
Degrades. I mean, so as though this has ever happened before. You can't degrade something they haven't happened.
Right.
Okay.
You know, the FBI has been making this claim for years that they're so-called going dark, like they're losing access to information that they think they want to have. But the claim is bogus. They've been getting more information than ever.
They might as well claim it, because then that might get them what they want to get. Let's go to the phones here. We got Julian calling in from North Carolina. Julian, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I just kind of jumped into the stream a little bit earlier. What are we talking about tonight?
You don't know what we're talking about?
No, I just kind of jumped in.
We were talking about dogs and hackers.
Oh, sweet. Well, I don't have a dog, but...
All right, thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. You're welcome to call in and talk about whatever you want, but don't call in and ask me what I want to talk about.
Yeah, you gotta have a topic.
All right. It's kind of one of those things.
And you can actually hear us while you're waiting there on hold, or you should be able to. So
this is just one of those things about running a radio program, is that the people that are most likely to call are the ones that you probably don't want to hear from. So, anyway.
Yeah, well.
Going on here where the government wants to get backdoor access to your computer.
Occupational hazard.
Yeah.
So, the government wants basically access to your information whenever, wherever, and without consulting you if they can manage it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course they don't want to consult you. And they don't have to consult you. They can go ahead and get a subpoena and go through the process and get access to your your habits online
bank
or whatever.
Records, your Amazon, your Facebook, whatever. Because, you're leaving that information wherever you go on the internet.
Right. Even if you use a VPN, if you're logging on to your Facebook.
And logging in as yourself.
And logging into your Google to do a search as yourself, you're effectively not using a VPN anymore.
No.
More or less, 90% of the internet is Facebook and Google. And
pretty much.
Yeah.
A very large part of, those are like the top two websites, and Wikipedia is number 3.
Oh, well, there is hope. 855-450-3733. I do donate to Wikipedia. I think they're great. Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE.
Do you like going to your job every day? If you have your own business, can you set your own schedule and take long vacations whenever you want? Are you free to do whatever you want in your dating or sex life? Probably not. There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. You're certainly welcome to. The number, 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
855-450-FREE as in freedom. And Michael, we're talking about apparently the government is trotting out all the old saws to get what they've been asking for many years.
Yeah. Weakened encryption.
Right. And basically they want to have access to anyone's computer anytime they want.
Whenever they want.
Whenever they want. So just basically tick, 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 tick. They get the back door. They go in. They take a look at what you've been doing or what you've got on your computer. All kinds of those things. And it's, I mean, does anybody read the Constitution anymore?
No, they don't read No, it's a living document. That means they interpret it to mean whatever they want it to mean.
So I guess that the right to be, the right to privacy in your personal,
securing your persons, houses, papers, and effects.
Yeah.
But your computer is not a paper. So,
not an effect.
Not an effect. No, you can't have privacy in that.
Well, at this point, they're not trying to keep you from having good oral health. My Magic Mud is a product that I've been using for some time, probably over a half a decade, and I've never been without it because I just think once I brushed my teeth with it, I realized, wow, this is superior to brushing my teeth with toothpaste. Now, I did happen to go to the dentist today, and I was awarded with a small tube of Crest toothpaste, and I put it in my pocket just to be able to say this. I've been telling people to look at the ingredients, but this tube of toothpaste only has one ingredient that they're willing to tell you about, the active ingredient, which is stannous fluoride, which is 0.45%. Now,
stannous fluoride?
Yeah, stannous
That's tin fluoride, literally.
Okay. I don't know, much about
That's what
fluoride.
is tin.
I know that fluoride is, recommended by the American Dental Association, and that it is a poison if taken thoroughly enough. It says, do not swallow. It's very clear on this. Whereas My Magic Mud, you can swallow. I've swallowed it for years. I don't recommend it if you are taking medication and have taken it in the last few hours, because the medication may be in your stomach. It binds. It's charcoal. It's got charcoal in it. It'll bind with it, and then the medication becomes no longer as useful. So I'm not necessarily recommending swallowing it, but I'm not saying that it's certainly not toxic.
It's not going to hurt you.
Right. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I'm of the opinion that it cleans my teeth better than just brushing alone with regular toothpaste. I don't use totally regular toothpaste, but I do have a variety of things I use. You can get My Magic Mud at most major health food stores: Sprouts, CVS, Natural Grocers, Walmart's Natural Beauty aisle, Amazon. If you do get it from Amazon, by the way, please write a review. They appreciate that. But if you go to mymagicmud.com, this is where I recommend, because I can get you a 20% discount. That's why. mymagicmud.com, you go there, use coupon code FTL20 for 20% off. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20 for 20% off. And I do want you to go there and use it, because I want you to have better oral health. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20. Let's go to Peter calling in from, I guess we're getting a rash of calls from North Carolina tonight. Peter, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I'd just like to talk about religion tonight, if that would be a possibility.
Sure. What's on your mind?
I think religion nowadays is really a government ploy to control the population.
That's been said for a long time, that religion is the opiate of the masses, I think is a Marx quote. So that's 1850s.
Yeah, I think the government's just trying to get everyone to suck its gigantic dick and, just follow the Jesus.
Okay, and drop that. And drop that. Somehow I knew that was going to be the case. Now, first off, before we go any further, I want to tell everybody who's listening, hey, we have technology in the radio business called a dump button. And that technology gives us the ability to drop the last 3 to 7 seconds of your call and make sure that it just doesn't go on the air.
Yeah, nobody's going to hear it.
Right. It's just a waste of your time to get on the air and say something that you can't say on the radio.
Yeah.
Now, look, if it's a Twitch channel and you're one of these Twitch callers calling in and you want to just say something that gets you put on the air, that's fine. But come up with something a little more inventive is what I would recommend.
Besides being on the however many radio stations we're on right now, we're also on streaming live on Twitch, on DLive, on YouTube. So we may be getting listeners from these places that don't realize that we're also on radio stations.
Yeah, and the only place that these things go out is, unfortunately, Twitch and some of the video. So our video streams, we don't have, because it has video as a component, we don't have the ability to drop that off. So in a lot of cases, these are the youngsters occupying these video platforms that most want to hear themselves say these things, so they may not necessarily know that they're not getting on the air on 200 radio stations when they do that stuff. But we did cover the topic of religion pretty thoroughly on Saturday night. Somebody called in and they pushed my buttons and we were off to the races. So there you go. Let's go to the phones. We've got Dave calling in from Colorado. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys,
what's on your mind?
I have an update on the New Hampshire lorry list situation. We've talked about that before, right?
The lorry list.
Lorry list, right. That's the list of New Hampshire police officers with credibility problems.
So, at first that just sounded like, oh, yeah, more, bad news about police. And is there anything practical about this? The government tried to keep it secret. It was all in the courts, I guess. And, now someone is trying to make practical use of this lorry list scandal.
Okay.
I guess it's a gentleman, a fisherman, who was arrested and he had a trial in 2007, or at least it was a 2007 case. He was, I guess, convicted of of assaulting a police officer. And so now he's saying, oh, guess what? Some of the officers that testified at my trial, they were lorry, or how did he put it? They were
They turned out to be on the lorry list?
Well, the headline reads, quote, "Man claims state withheld lorry misconduct info on 2 Lebanon police officers," unquote. So that implies that they were on the lorry list in some form or fashion, but that's not precisely what I can say at this point. Just
Right. The state could have withheld that they were not on the lorry list, which doesn't seem particularly relevant.
You wouldn't think so, but this should open up all kinds of cans of worms in a constructive way for the state, because now you're going to have all kinds of lawyers looking at this and going, "Oh, I could do this for my client," right? Or all kinds of people who've been convicted saying, maybe I should go for an expungement, or maybe I should go for this or that, or maybe I should sue, or whatever.
Do other states have this lorry list kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't, right? I mean, usually
I've heard a few other states
it's
do
worth
have
checking.
a list like.
Thanks for the call, Dave. Appreciate it. The number's 855-450-3733. That might be useful in a case. 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We are live. It's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time that you're listening to us. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
The number, 855-450-3733. We're talking about the government wanting backdoor access to your computer, to everybody's computer.
Yeah, they want everything.
And, well, I tend to think that's not going to go very well. One of the reasons I think about this is because, the government gets kind of flighty. I remember back in the 1930s, they just decided, the economy's too dicey. You can't own gold anymore. It took brave folks like the founder of McIlvaney ICA to make it so that Americans can own gold. It was illegal in my lifetime for Americans to own gold. Now they can.
It's insane.
And
but they did it.
Yeah, if gold's pretty hot for investing right now. A lot of people are seeing the markets and wondering whether they have a good future. I don't know. I would not claim to know, but I do know that gold is historically the most secure investment you can have. And McIlvaney ICA has a free report that you can download if you'd like to learn more about investing in precious metals. The report is the 6 advantages of adding precious metals to an IRA and how you can double your ounces. There are some specific times that if you would have gotten into gold, you would have really done well. And overall, it's done quite well as far as performance goes. You can get online at icagoldsilver.com and go get that report. McIlvaney ICA is also offering a free portfolio review. And they'll tell you about how much they think you should have in and just look at what you've got. They're America's foremost precious metals advisors and have been since 1972. ICA pioneered and practices leading strategies for compounding ounces. They're going to show you how to get more gold, because that's one thing that gold doesn't do. It doesn't make more of itself.
Yeah,
well, they have a system.
What's the interest rate on gold?
They have a system for making that happen. They've been helping people take delivery of precious metals with both domestic and international fine storage options for decades. They also have helped thousands of investors with precious metals IRAs. You can call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556. 800-525-9556, or download their free report online today at icagoldsilver.com. 800-525-9556, icagoldsilver.com.
So we've been talking about U.S. Attorney General William Barr, who has been calling for so-called what he calls responsible encryption, and this is something that the government's been calling for 25 years. What they really want is a backdoor into encryption so that they can read anything that's currently encrypted, whether it be your Facebook messages to your mom, or your FaceTime chats, or WhatsApp, or your shopping on Amazon, anything that's encrypted.
They want that information. No matter what the information is, they want the information. They want all the information. And, I don't know why they want all this information. I'm a pretty boring guy when it comes down to it. Oh, look, he's gone on Amazon and he's bought a USB cable. Look at this.
They want to have access to get into it anytime they want without. What should scare you is that they want to have this access without necessarily having a warrant.
Yep, that's exactly what they want.
And the way they're proposing to do it.
And by the way, they lose information all the time.
Oh yeah.
If they get this information, they're going to lose it, and hackers all around the world are going to use it to get into everybody's computers, and it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, last month the Department of Homeland Security lost a whole bunch of information on border crossings on the U.S.-Mexico border. If you cross that border, your personal data is out there now.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, it happens all the time.
Yes, they do lose that information. Big corporations lose it too.
Oh yeah,
it's just another good reason not to use these organizations. So, Michael, you are a computer expert guy. What can people do to prevent the government from getting their data, or anybody from getting their data? Frankly,
obviously, the biggest thing to do is just not generate the data in the first place, but that's really, really difficult to do on the internet today. Second, beyond that, is to just insist on uncompromised end-to-end encryption wherever you go, whether that's between you and your bank or between you and your friends on Facebook. It has to be end-to-end with nobody listening in on either side or in the middle. Because if they put these backdoors in the encryption, not only will the government be able to get into it, but hackers will be able to get into it too. And this is something that's important because they've already put backdoors into the phone system.
And the hackers are already getting in there?
Yeah, there was a big diplomatic fallout back in 2005, 2006 when hackers got into the Greek cell phone network.
Okay.
And they were listening to cell phone conversations among Greek government officials, like the prime minister and all that.
So they were saying things that people wanted to hear, I presume.
Yeah. So hackers were listening to the Greek government officials through a backdoor that was for law enforcement use.
Interesting.
So this has happened before.
And
they want to make it happen again.
Well, I know that the Puerto Rican governor was just brought down by leaked chat logs. I don't know how those chat logs were leaked or where they came from or anything like that. But
yeah, they could have come from anywhere, probably his computer or wherever.
And this is one of the things that disturbs me the most about government snooping, is that I know they don't want to know anything about me. Because I'm not exciting. I'm boring. I'm just a married guy that doesn't cheat on his wife and runs around and, does things at his house.
You have your kid, you have your dog.
I got nothing going on that's fun. But the judges, the politicians, the captains of industry, many of these guys are not all pure as the driven snow. And if you can get information on these people, then you can control them to some extent.
Oh, yeah, blackmail.
And so, well, that's that becomes a much more interesting situation.
Yeah,
so I don't know anything about this governor in Puerto Rico, but I know that he's getting lambasted right now for some chat logs where he was, they were completely inappropriate, right? He may have been the best governor in the history of Puerto Rico, for all I know.
Not.
I don't believe it, but he could have been. And clearly somebody got a hold of some information that made him look bad. Well, there's information that'll make anybody look bad. You, me, every politician, and that information can be used to control. So do we want the NSA and the CIA to have information that can control politicians, judges, and captains of industry? Because that takes the sort of diverse checks and balances that we've been told our whole lives are so important and concentrates power into one or two intelligence agencies and makes those people in that agency very, very powerful.
And if that's not bad enough, not only if you put backdoors in encryption, not only do the U.S. government agencies get access to all of that, foreign government agencies will have access to it. Organized crime will have access to it. You may not be interesting on your own, but people's credit card numbers get stolen, and those things have a retail value of about 50 cents on the dark web. So you steal enough credit card numbers in aggregate, they get sold in bulk, and then criminals try those out, and some of them work, some of them don't.
Yeah, how does the United States government pass this whole backdoor thing off? I mean, they're saying, we want access, but they send their computers around the world, and then they're saying, what, to China? Or which governments get access, which ones don't? Do you have to be part of NATO? Do you have to be part of the UN? Do you have to be part of, which organizations get it, which ones don't? Because I don't know. But I do know that there are spies in the world. So do you want Russia Do you want China? Do you want maybe even North Korea or Iran to have access to your data on your computer? If you do, you are even more boring than I am. Like all you're doing is sitting there playing solitaire or something. By the way, you can get a much cheaper solitaire machine than whatever you paid for your desktop if that's what you're using.
You can get it on your phone now.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. They want backdoors to that too. The number, 855-450-3733. Do you think that it's a good idea for the government to have this information?
Absolutely not.
Are you just not afraid because you don't do these things? The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Call in.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much? $92,000. Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
You are welcome to call in about anything that we've talked about up to this point, which has included danger. Which dog breeds are most dangerous? Whether docking tails and cropping ears is bad or immoral for dogs. The government wanting backdoor access to your computers and presumably to everyone's around the world, or anything else. Before we go on here, I want to read about Alpha Male 2.0. So this is just sort of some guy stuff. If you feel stuck in a job or relationship or both, Caleb Jones has taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses. And that truly is a form of freedom. And how to date women under your terms. 2.0 alpha males have learned how to break free and how to truly live. Shouldn't you be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and not have to ask permission or answer to anyone, so long as you're not harming other people? Would you like to be able to date whomever you want, even if you're already in a relationship? Caleb's point is living in a free society isn't going to help you much if your life isn't free. Visit freelifeinfo.com and download the Alpha Male 2.0 starter pack for free. Included are 7 free books and a podcast so you can start living a truly free life right now. The Alpha Male 2.0 starter pack will show you the exact strategies Caleb and his team use to get better with women, increase their income and personal freedom and happiness. Get your free Alpha Male 2.0 starter pack at freelifeinfo.com. It's freelifeinfo.com. And I have had a chance to speak to Caleb and interview him, and the guy's really engaging. I must say that much. I'm very interested in this sort of notion of creating your own wealth from wherever you want to be. Of course,
it's really attractive to think you can be on the beach in Fiji and work for an hour a day and make enough money to live forever.
I guess I've kind of done it here with Free Talk Live. We could do it anywhere in the world. Then again, I'd have to drag Ian along to do it. But speaking of anywhere in the world, there are some people that are deciding to coalesce, to congregate in a place in the world you probably wouldn't expect them to go. The desert, the inhospitable desert of Nevada.
Oh.
From the Washington Times, Storm Area 51 turnout overwhelms Nevada town. Las Vegas. Well, that's the closest place to this, basically. At first, the owner of the quirky alien-themed motel down a Nevada highway from the mysterious Area 51 didn't take a posting for a prank Facebook event too seriously.
Nobody took it seriously. Not at first.
Then her phone started ringing. It doesn't stop. Our phone won't stop ringing, Connie West of the Little Inn.
Little Alien.
Little Alien.
Yeah.
Inn told the Las Vegas Sun. The 10-room motel is one of the few businesses in Rachel, a town of 54 residents. 54 residents.
Yeah,
now gaining celebrity status among aviation and UFO enthusiasts attracted by the posting about a September 20th event dubbed Storm Area 51.
They can't stop all of us.
They can't stop all of us, yeah. More than 1 million people have responded to the internet posting calling for people to Naruto run. Now, I don't know anything about Naruto. Have you seen this?
It's some kind of anime thing where you run with your arms, holding your arms behind your back.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen them. They have these characters rushing headlong, sort of head forward, body forward, but arms backwards. And, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. I'm not sure you're gonna do very well running like that in real life, but
they're calling for people to Naruto run at 3 a.m. into the remote U.S. Air Force test area, Nevada desert, that has long been the focus of UFO conspiracy theories. The face-forward, arms-back running style is favored by characters in an anime series, Naruto. Just want to make sure I get it right. They can't stop all of us, the post jokes. Let's see them aliens.
Yeah, let's see them aliens.
All right. The military is warning people not to try to enter the once top-secret Cold War site, which is posted and patrolled as part of the vast Nevada test and training range. So I'm thinking about going to this. I planning to go to this is my actually how I feel about it.
You better book your hotel soon, because what I've heard is that all of the 3 hotels within 100 miles of there are booked solid already. So,
well, 100 miles, Nevada's within, Las Vegas is 84 miles from this.
Okay, well, 50 miles, whatever.
And Las Vegas can handle this.
Yeah, are there 1 million hotel rooms in Las Vegas? I don't
know the answer to that, but the internet does. But however, Las Vegas, of any American city, can handle this, better than any. How many?
Las Vegas can absorb a lot of people, I'm sure.
Rooms
you better plan on a road trip, though, because people, if this gets serious, then plane tickets will sell out.
Today, there are about 150,000 hotel rooms in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
So, not a million.
Not a million, but
not even.
enough.
You really couldn't even bunk up with this number. If I can get a power outlet, I'm in pretty good shape. That's about all I can say.
Yeah. Not sure you're going to find one of those in the middle of the desert. But.
No, but any one of these locations that I can just plug into, I'll bring my own extension cord, and I can plug in, and then I'll be okay. I'll have a place to sleep. I'll have it to be climate controlled. That kind of thing. I'll be in pretty good shape. But I'm very curious as to who I am going to meet at this
as
event.
An event to cover as a journalist, this is amazing. I definitely would want to be there.
Yeah, I want to be there absolutely, because I think it's going to be fascinating. But I got to say this, is if you plan this far in advance, if there are alien bodies or whatever they've got going on at Area 51,
Couldn't they just move them?
Right. Why wouldn't they have moved them already? I mean, they're not that dumb.
Well, where would they move them to? I mean,
I don't know that they have them there in the first place. One of these underground bunkers that they have outfitted for the president when the big one comes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
Any one of any location is better than the place where all of the internet loonies have decided to storm in a certain fashion. Like, the government does not want to set up machine gun nests and mow down a bunch of mall ninjas.
No, they don't. But you can be sure they're gonna have some kind of military response.
Well, yes,
said so.
I hope they have some kind of response, and I suspect that response will be non-lethal. And maybe they've just got those, they got those trucks that they can, shoot you with sound waves, and then you begin to feel ill.
The ones that cause you pain. Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Right, there's ones that just make you feel sick, and there's all kinds of non-lethal stuff that they can do. This will be a great training exercise for them to employ. I don't know, the rubber bullets and the
get to bring out their toys,
the tasers, and the big electrifying nets or whatever the god they have. I have no idea what they've got, but they can handle this.
Yeah,
and even if they get through,
people don't show up, then yeah.
And this place is gigantic, by the way. It's not like you're just going to run through the fence and say, "Oh, there's the building with the aliens in it." Now, if 1 million people are there, they can do just about anything. Admittedly, they cannot stop them all. But I suspect they've already moved all this stuff. What if they had anything there in the first place, and I suspect they don't.
They moved all the aliens. Well,
the fact that we believe that there are aliens at Area 51 says all I need to know about there not being aliens at Area 51. You don't get to be a colonel in the United States military by being a dumbass. And, any colonel can be like, well, it looks like here on the internet that they believe that there are aliens at Area 51 and have believed that for 30 years. So it looks like we're moving this stuff to that remote base in Nome and Barrow, or, one of the mini islands someplace that you can't get to. I think there's military bases off of Key West that nobody can really get to. And I know the Dry Tortugas, at the very least, had a military base.
Yeah, it's a national park now.
There might be others there. I did see a military base on Key West, but it may be shut down. Look, it doesn't make a difference. They have remote places far away from everywhere where they can put whatever it is that you might find that's embarrassing to them at Area 51.
Let's stick them in Guantanamo Bay.
Nonetheless, I think this is going to be darn interesting.
Yeah, I really want to see how this plays out.
You're right. You could just take it out on an aircraft carrier. Just put it out in the ocean. Good luck finding it then. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live, what do you think?
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,418, silver at $16.38, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,142. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Jeffrey Epstein's longtime personal pilots have been subpoenaed by federal prosecutors in Manhattan, according to the Wall Street Journal. The grand jury subpoenas were served earlier this month following Epstein's July 6 arrests in New Jersey on charges of sex trafficking minors. He has pleaded not guilty to the years-long scheme in which prosecutors allege the wealthy financier sexually abused dozens of young girls from 2002 to 2005. Some of whom recruited other victims. The Mind Unleashed reports it's unknown how many of Epstein's pilots were subpoenaed, or whether they're cooperating witnesses. According to court documents from prior cases, Epstein employed David Rogers, Larry Vasosky, Larry Morrison, and Bill Hammond as pilots and flight engineers. Rogers, Vasosky, and Morrison have previously testified in civil depositions. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices. with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of Kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of Kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. In the latest move to undermine the separation of church and state in the United States, a new law in South Dakota is requiring all public schools in the state to prominently display the motto, "In God We Trust." The Mind Unleashed reports the new law, which decrees that schools must emblazon the message across 149 South Dakota school districts, was pushed by lawmakers who argue that the theological slogan is meant to inspire patriotism. Governor Kristi Noem signed off on the law in March. The law requires that the motto must be both legible and 12 by 12 inches in size. In a Thursday Twitter post, the governor said, quote, "We should never be afraid to proclaim that we are one nation under God," end quote. The new law has provoked controversy in many of the state's communities, with critics condemning the law as part of a stealth campaign aiming to infuse religious indoctrination into state legislation. In a bipartisan deal that one anti-war critic said demonstrates how thoroughly broken and captured Washington is by the Pentagon, 219 House Democrats and 65 Republicans on Thursday voted to approve a budget agreement that includes $1.48 trillion in military spending over the next 2 years. Just 16 Democrats, including Representatives Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Pressley, voted against the 2-year, $2.7 trillion budget agreement. Largely due to expressed concerns about the deficit, 132 Republicans also voted no. The final vote was 284 to 149. The House passage of the budget deal, which President Donald Trump quickly applauded on Twitter as a victory for the military, comes after the Congressional Progressive Caucus threatened in April to tank the measure. But most of the Progressive Caucus voted for the agreement on Thursday, pointing to increases in domestic spending. Facebook has dealt a massive blow to the police accountability movement, unpublishing Police to Police, the largest police accountability page on the platform. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Right now, it's looking like tonight's record $500 million Powerball drawing could be cancelled, as embarrassed lottery officials have admitted they lost the balls. Douglas Bronstein, deputy director of the Multi-State Lottery Association, addressed the press moments ago. We have a quote, "We know how important the balls are to a successful drawing. I saw them the other day, and I'm sure they'll turn up somewhere." Bronstein says it's usually marketing director Ben Callahan's job to keep an eye on the balls, but when reached for comment, Callahan said he just sits next to the balls. It's not his job to know where they are every second of every day. According to Bronstein, it's crucial they find the balls before tonight's drawing. Quote, "We'd love to use different balls, but these ones have the numbers on them." Bronstein added that once they figure out where the balls are, they promise to keep them in some sort of case instead of just lying around the office. When we return, we'll meet some of the undeterred Powerball superfans who are camping out before the big drawing dressed as their favorite numbers.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. What I want to talk about right now is Area 51. And a million people that have said that they are going to storm Area 51.
They can't stop us all.
They can't stop us all. Let's see them aliens. Those are the quotes. And I think this is just exciting. I mean, the internet I can't think of any time in the past the internet has come up with this kind of idea. Let's all get together this is basically a giant flash mob.
Mm-hmm.
And flash mobs are usually put together in a more surreptitious fashion. This was a Facebook post.
They're not usually announced publicly. This is not only announced publicly, but 2.5 months in advance publicly.
Right. So every cop, soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine within 1,000 miles of Area 51 can easily be mustered up to do whatever it is that they need to do. And
secure the perimeter.
A million people? Agreed. They cannot stop them all. However, I think that they could just get rid of whatever the alien body or whatever it is that they claim that somebody thinks they might have there.
Yeah, you were saying that they could just move all the aliens out before September or whatever the date is.
Right. They don't even have to have a location to move them to. They can just put them out on an aircraft carrier. Try to find them now, Internet.
Yeah, try to storm an aircraft carrier with your Naruto run.
Yeah, the Naruto run. This is great. They've even got other stuff here, but they're basically people who know nothing about modern military techniques trying to storm an Air Force base in rural Nevada. Should be lots of fun. Going on with the article here from Washington Times, after refusing for decades to acknowledge Area 51 even existed, the CIA declassified documents in 2013 referring to the 8,000 square mile installation by name and locating it on a map near the Dry Groom Lake bed. This thing's about 80 miles outside of Vegas, by the way, northwest. The base has been testing ground for top-secret aircraft, including the U-2 spy plane. Now, I happen to know a pretty famous U-2 pilot. Not that there's famous in the sense of U-2 pilots.
Right. Well, there weren't that many U-2 pilots.
No, this guy happens to have had more time in the air in the U-2 than any other pilot ever. And let's see, in the 1950s, top secret, including 1950s, and then later the B-2 stealth bomber. Any attempt to illegally access the area is highly discouraged, the Air Force said in a statement released.
Highly discouraged.
I like that kind of verbiage because it doesn't threaten outwardly.
It's not an outright, blatant, in-your-face threat.
Right.
It's just you should really think about your life choices before you do this.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. So it's amazing. So this little hotel here, the Little Alien, whatever. This hotel is apparently just being inundated with calls.
Yeah, they've got 10 rooms. They've been booked solid since the day after this Facebook posting, and their phone's still ringing off the hook.
Yeah. It goes on here. It says the West. This is the person that runs the hotel. Inn, I think, motel. No-tell motel is what this is. West is apprehensive about what might happen if a big crowds arrive. It's a little scary to think that many people could descend on a town of 54 people. How can you prepare? Down the state highway, 375, dubbed the extraterrestrial highway, Linda Looney, oh my, at the Alien Research Center gift shop and campsite, told The Sun she was concerned about the effect of the Facebook post. I don't think it's just a passing fancy, she said. Lincoln County Sheriff Kerry Lee said he doesn't expect many people to actually show up. Well, I intend to. If they're going to show up, I'm going to be there just to talk to them. I want to get some video. I want to get some audio. I want to call in.
Interviews, yeah.
Yeah. The county spokesman, Ben Rowley, tallied up 184 hotel rooms in the county, but Lee said 500 or 1,000 sudden visitors could create traffic, parking, and congestion issues in a jurisdiction with 26 sworn sheriff's deputies and about 5,200 permanent residents, mostly in rural towns including Caliente, Pioche, Panaca, and Alamo.
Yeah, where are you going to put all these people? I mean, even 10,000 people coming out there to the desert, there are 184 hotel rooms. They've all got to go stay back in Vegas or throw up tents, something.
They're worried about 1,000 people showing up, let alone 1 million. I mean, many factors higher.
I don't know how you get 1 million people in there. It's a 2-lane road. It just is.
It'd be a giant parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is most of the land there is flat. Most of the land there isn't the kind of thing you're going to sink into. So you could probably park your front-wheel drive car just on the side of the road.
Yeah, probably so.
And, it would be fine. I don't know. I think this started out as a joke, but there may be enough people taking it seriously, and it could be a problem, the sheriff said. Someone is going to get hurt, and people may go to jail. It's not anything to joke about. Let's talk about the jail for a second.
Yeah, they're not going to have enough jail space for.
They're not going to have enough room in the back of their cop cars. I mean, like,
what did you say? 26 sheriff's deputies in this county?
26 sheriff's deputies, no police, likely. And this is a county that's. I don't know how. I didn't look at how big the county was. I did look up where this place was in Nevada, but counties out there, they tend to be real big.
Everything's still big out there.
Yeah. County map of Nevada. And, I mean, I can only imagine what happens if this many people show up. Yeah, if this is in Nye County, which it looks like it could be, it could be Clark. Clark is huge, likely the size of, I'm guessing, Connecticut.
Clark County is where Las Vegas is.
That's correct.
So everything else is outside of, isn't it?
It looks like it's closer to Lincoln County, which is probably the size of, say, I'm just guessing here. I just got to spitball this from looking at the size of Nevada. I'm guessing that this is the size of, say, New Hampshire and Vermont combined.
As far as I know, and I'd have to get a map to look and confirm it, but as far as I know, the Area 51 is in that big green one there.
The Nye County?
Nye County, okay.
It could be. They actually mentioned this Poche, whatever the town is here, in the article. So I'm tending to think it's the one next to that. Panaca. Yeah, maybe that. Oh,
okay.
Pioche. Caliente, Pioche, Panaca, and Alamo are in this county of 5,200 permanent residents. This town has 54 people in it. Basically, there's probably a diner, this inn, and a gas station.
Yeah, and the gift shop.
Yeah, the gift shop on the campground headed out towards Area 51, so you can go there and take a picture of the gate that says "Get the hell out of here." My guess is, I don't know. I haven't been to any of these places. I don't know. Never gone to Area 51. If this is a real thing, I'm planning on going out there and seeing it. I may not.
Yeah, now I kind of want to go.
I don't want to die over this, I can assure you, but I'm curious. And, I mean, I think you better, if you're going to go, you better bring your own sleeping arrangements.
Yeah, you pretty much have to. I mean, you can stay in Vegas, but you still have to drive out there, and it's.
You better start driving at 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning is when they start running.
Oh, when they start doing it. Yeah, you better. God knows. I don't even know. So 3 o'clock in the morning is 6 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. So the East Coasters will have an advantage because some of them might actually get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So showing up for this wouldn't be that terrible. I don't think the government, even the government, is this dumb. That we already know that they can move whatever they would need to move out of there. If the best thing for them to do is to just open up the gates and get everybody a tour. All right, come on in, everybody. We're going to walk through. We're going to take a look at here's the big airstrip. There's the control tower.
There's the stealth bomber. There's
nothing.
The U-2 and
take some pictures and get the hell out.
Bye.
855. These people paid for it. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. I should be able to get a picture of a B-2.
Libertarianism is about living in a more free society. But what about living a free life? If you're stuck in a job, business, or relationship where you're not free, what good is a free society to you? You can live a more free life. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever you want. If you want to talk about this situation where 1 million people from the internet may very well descend upon Area 51 to see them aliens.
No, I don't think it's going to be 1 million.
Probably not, but at this point, that's how many people have said that they're going to go and are interested, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. You take that for what it's worth. I tend to agree with you, Michael.
Probably not worth a whole lot. I mean, people will say they're going on Facebook and then not show up all the time.
Happens all the time. They'll forget. Oh, was that today? I guess I forgot to get my plane tickets and hotel room. But this little 10-room no-tell motel in near Area 51 called the Little Alien with two N's, INN. Is it's got 10 rooms, and they're booked, and the phone won't stop ringing. The Connie West here says, it doesn't stop. Our phone won't stop ringing. And I imagine a lot of people can show up. It's within 80 miles of Las Vegas.
Yeah, I imagine everything within 80 miles of Area 51, their phones are ringing off the hook.
There's 150,000 hotel rooms in Vegas. That'll handle
that's probably enough for everybody.
A lot of Naratu runners. And then anybody who has their own sort of camping gear, whatever it might be, whether it's an RV or whatever it is. But, yeah, you're welcome to call in about that. The number's 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE. As in freedom, want to tell you about the AMP program. Be an amplifier, like Shooter is. You go to amp.freetalklive.com and you can sign up to be a silver amplifier like Shooter is. And you can help us advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. We do this to spread the ideas of liberty. If you believe in the ideas of liberty, then you should be pretty happy with the amplifiers helping us get on 200 radio stations. All it takes to get on more stations, get more podcast downloads, is money. That's it. You want to spread the ideas of liberty? It's that easy.
Yeah. This is not your typical radio station program where you're paying $5 a month so the host can go drink on the weekends or whatever. We're
going to do that anyway.
We're going to do that anyway, but we're using our own money for that.
Right.
The AMP program money is specifically for promoting the show and getting it on more radio stations and getting more people on the internet to listen to it.
Right. So if you like these ideas,
and you want other people to hear this,
I think it's the best use of your liberty-oriented outreach dollar.
Absolutely.
And because we don't pay anybody with it. amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the Discord line and see how this works out here. Bad Slave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi.
What's on your mind?
Can you hear me all right, Mike?
Sorta. Go ahead.
You sound a bit over-modulated there on your mic. You might want to turn your mic input down a bit.
I'll tone it down. I do have a loud voice, as everybody tells me.
Well, tell me what you're thinking with that loud voice.
I'm going for it. The issue to me is that I really want a Republican form of government that doesn't involve itself but in the protection of individual rights.
So you want this constitutional government that was sort of laid out in the United States federal Constitution many, many, many long years ago that they really didn't stick to very well, right?
No, I don't actually want that same one. I want one that's similar to that, but that has the correct improvements. I mean, number one, the violating of the Constitution ought to be a punishable crime.
Well, this is one thing that they'll tell you in lawyer in school, right? You go to law school. They'll tell you a law that has no punishment is pointless.
It may as well not even be a law.
You can call the Constitution of the United States the highest law in the land, but there is not in there any form of punishment for anybody who violates it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the big issue, though, is that it's a tiny, tiny, tiny government. That I'm talking about here.
Oh, you're talking about an imaginary tiny government because the United States federal government is not tiny.
No. What they have, I'm going on 4 to 5 orders of magnitude larger than it should be. I'm really serious about this. This is not what we signed up for, even at its worst interpretation.
I don't know that I didn't sign up for anything.
No, I didn't sign up for anything either.
But
it's not what they told me I was getting in school.
Right. I mean, a plain reading of this document shows what it was intended to be. All you have to do is pick it up. It's not even that long. Pick it up, read it, and you'll be like, oh, my God, I can't believe that these people have all these alphabet soup agencies and have gone on and created Social Security and all these other programs. These things, they'll lock you up if you don't participate. The founders were against an income tax, but there it is. They shoved that thing through with the 16th Amendment, or they didn't and just made it happen, or whatever happened.
And we've been at war for 100 years plus. I mean, going back to even the Civil War. So I mean, that's another, 3/4 of a century.
Well, they're certainly busy with their military. Yeah, I mean, there's been some breaks.
And every war, every bit of warring, like our good friend Smedley.
Smedley Butler, the most decorated Marine in history.
Wrote a book called War is a Racket.
War is a Racket, and I mean, he was all over this very same issue back then. And it's like people don't get it. We've got at the state level, we've got more than enough government than we need already. And we can work on that as well.
I think that people really very, very badly want to be able to tell the other states what to do. The people in Utah are 100% sure that the people in California have got it wrong. And the people in, say, New Jersey think that the people in Florida are idiots. And it just goes on and on and on. It's these, but the nation is so split. It's gotten worse and worse throughout my lifetime.
But the people of these states are, they're choosing being this craziness. They're choosing it. I mean, it's not like, we just have to not choose it anymore. It's just, to me, it's just crazy. If you want to keep having, being enslaved, by a taxation rate that's, I don't know, it's at least
10 times what the founders had to deal with and what they seceded over. Bad Slave, thank you for the call.
Exactly.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. What do you think? Government, bigger, smaller? Free Talk Live.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkBags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkBags.com/FTL.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress.
Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Following earlier reports of 27-year-old Mark Felder's profound and startling level of pride in his alma mater, the University of Miami alumnus spoke to Onion reporters about his strong affection for the academic institution that left him totally unprepared for the job market and floundering in $50,000 of debt.
I would not trade my time at the University of Miami for anything. Miami has the best college experience in the country, hands down. I had an awesome time there, and it's an amazing place. We've got awesome bars, awesome sports, an awesome campus, and we're pretty much right next to the beach. I mean, what more could you want? You have to be crazy not to go there.
Felder, who paid over $140,000 in tuition, told reporters he takes an annual trip to see a Hurricanes football game and visit the university that failed to teach him any marketable job skills whatsoever, leaving him so financially helpless he was forced to move back in with his parents after graduating.
AMI, fight, fight, fight. Yeah, it's all about the U, baby. All about the U. That's what I'm talking about. Go Canes, baby.
For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Come on and call in. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Got calls here, and we'll get to you right off the bat here. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
And we've been talking about this situation where a whole bunch of people are intending to show up at Area 51 and storm the place. But you're welcome to call in and talk about whatever you want. And Wesley, the G, has called in. Wesley, what's on your mind?
Hey, Mark. I saw that you made a radio show about plant-based diets about a week ago, and I'm on a plant-based diet, and I've been on it for about a year. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Like, do you have any questions about plant-based diet?
I don't honestly remember the show on the plant-based diet, whatever that might have been, but we talk about I'm happy to talk about anything. What happened was Ian and I went to a burger joint in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculously overpriced, but everything is.
It's Las Vegas.
And we both got one of these Impossible burgers.
That's the new vegan burger that the Impossible Company has come out with.
Right, and then there's another one called the Beyond Burger, and I can't speak to the Beyond Burger. I didn't have it, but I presume that it's a competitor to this Impossible Burger, and thus it is as good as the Impossible Burger. I am no advocate for the vegan folks or anything like that. However, I am a fair person. I believe I myself to be fair. Every jackhole on the internet thinks they're fair too, by the way. And I would say that this burger was as good as a pre-formed burger that you get at the grocery store, made of meat.
That's what I've heard. I've only read reviews of the Impossible Burger because we don't yet have a Burger King here. It's supposed to open soon. But what I've read is that it's very difficult to tell the difference between the Impossible Burger and a regular ground beef burger.
I would call it a fine burger. I wouldn't call it like the best burger in town or anything, but usually that has a lot to do with sort of the cheese, the toppings, the grill, preparation and things like that. Have you tried one of these, Wesley?
I've never tried the Beyond Burger or the Impossible Burger. I know that at the Monadnock Co-op grocery store in Keene, they have those Beyond Meat. Yeah. Sorry for mispronouncing.
No problem.
They do have the Beyond Meat, and they also have like other vegan mock meats. I've tried vegan pizza with the vegan cheese.
How's
and
that?
honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. It was pretty good.
How long had you been vegan or whatever, not meat eating, whatever your terminology you used to wish to describe yourself with? How long had you been that before you had the pizza?
Right. So I had the pizza when I was in Manchester just a couple of weeks ago. And I've been vegan for about like 8 months before that.
Okay.
And I've been like kind of like a traditional vegan, like eating potatoes and rice and beans, not really eating these, plant-based meats or anything.
Right. And I think that first off, this is what the vegetarians and vegans of the world need to do: is they need to provide those of us who want to eat meat with some alternative. And second, stop telling lies like this is cheese, when it's just something horrible.
Not cheese. If it's not cheese, then it's not cheese.
Right. And I'm not into this. My philosophy is this: is that first off, the amount of meat that the average American eats is probably too much. It's probably not a healthy amount, and that that livestock is necessary for a functional sort of farm ecosystem. A lot of people want to get rid of livestock entirely. You need livestock to tread the ground and to poop on it and do all kinds of stuff like that. But I think there's still probably a way too much livestock. And the factory farming that goes on, chickens and hogs, I don't think it's as much with cattle. But then again, I don't know that much about cattle. We raised them when I was a kid, and they had plenty of pasture and all that stuff. We just took them to the slaughterhouse, and off they went. I
didn't really want to talk about like the ethics or the environment, but I do agree that I think we both agree that people like consume too much meat and it has like some effect on the environment.
So what do you think that somebody should know about a plant-based diet? Because I don't really have any questions. I guess I'm much more of the opinion.
I have one question.
Sure.
One thing I've heard about plant-based diets is that it's apparently, I've heard that it's difficult to get enough protein. Is that true? And what do you do about it?
It's not difficult to get protein on a plant-based diet. One fact, every plant has protein. Bananas have protein, apples have protein. So if you're eating a lot of plants throughout the day, it's quite easy to get to accumulate protein. And things that are high in protein are like broccoli, beans, and grains.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to say broccoli's bad for you. They're just never going to do it.
Right. So broccoli is high in a lot of different nutrients, and it's also low in calories. So that's a great combination. A lot of plant foods are like that. They have a lot of vitamins, and they're only like 5 calories per serving or something.
It makes one wonder because it's the Brussels sprout and broccoli and several other vegetables are basically from the same plant that has been bred to do different things. And the cruciferous vegetables is what they're called. Mm-hmm. I don't know them off the top of my head. Maybe one of them is cauliflower. Maybe it's not. I don't even know. But it's interesting that they have different sort of vitamin profiles than the others. And they're basically the same plant.
Weren't they bred to be different, though?
They certainly were, yeah. Selected to be different, yeah. Indeed. Well, Wesley,
I know.
You're not dying off, right?
I'm not dying. No. Oh God, it's a heart attack. No. I know that you can put nutrients in plants when you're gardening. You can spray them with like a nutrient supplement. And then you can have a plant with that nutrient.
Oh, that's interesting. So what are some of the things that people ask you about a plant-based diet?
Well, a lot of people do ask me, where do you get your protein? Some other people think like...
Fat people worried about where to get protein.
Yeah. Sometimes people ask me like, am I like, okay, fine, it's healthy, but it's going to be like, so disgusting or something. It's like, no, in fact, like a lot of vegan meals, they're very quite tasty because of all the different plants. They each have their own kind of flavor and taste to them. So you can have a very flavorful dish with just a few,
I think somebody's got to be ready for a real lifestyle change to say that, I'd like a medley of peppers and onions and celery and whatever here, rather than a nice big cheeseburger. And I think that the Beyond Burger, the Impossible Burger people are really taking the right route here, which is finding a plant-based alternative to the food that people want to eat. Because I know if I've gone a little while without eating, I'm getting hungry. I'm looking for that calorie-intensive payoff, and it comes from a certain set of taste, a certain taste profile, and that's where I'm going to be. And nothing's going to change that. All the at my house we have a lot of green drinks, is what my wife calls them. I call them swamp water.
They're plants that have been run through a blender and poured into your drink.
Right. It's basically a vegetable smoothie, and they're good for 45 minutes or so. It's like eating an apple.
Yeah.
And then I'm hungry. And then I have another one, and then I'm hungry. And, you can have some tahini, or you can have some, some nuts or something to sort of stave off the hunger for a few hours at that point, because that'll be helpful.
Right. Okay. So some kind of plant foods are really good for that feeling full, or like potatoes. They're the highest on the satiety index, and things that are not so good are like smoothies, because they go through your system really fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate the call, Wesley. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on, so it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. shopsupertea.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We can probably get you in if you make a phone call now. The number 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE. As in freedom. It's Mark with you.
And Michael.
So let's go to the phones, Michael, right here. We got calls on the line, so let's do it. David, you're from New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live.
New Mexico? Where's that?
Near Albuquerque, I hear. Ian thought that Area 51 was in New Mexico.
Oops.
Who did? Ian?
Ian, yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now we have White Sands Missile Range, which may be somewhat similar, but it's not the same.
And Roswell,
and
right?
Roswell, which is where the aliens first landed.
Well, actually, there was Corona, which is quite a ways from Roswell. White Sands is like a long rectangle north to south in the middle of the state, and that Roswell UFO crashed just outside of that rectangle in the northeast, and Roswell is about, 90 miles from that site. That's just guessing without measuring on the map.
Yep.
And then there was a Socorro incident like a decade later, 15 years later, whatever it was, I don't remember, which is on the other side of that rectangle in the northwest is where that incident was. But yeah, Roswell is like the closest large town or town of any size, put it that way, to Corona, New Mexico.
I imagine they've taken that whole alien thing as something important in the town, a tourist aspect.
Yeah, that's basically. Matter of fact, Roswell. You said Little Alien. I thought you were talking about Roswell because I think they have one of those in Roswell as well. But yeah, they have a alien festival every summer.
And people, they have a parade. People dress up like aliens and walk down the street.
The whole thing. They got their museum and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was wanted to address, there was things on the list from last night, but they happen to tie into what you're saying tonight too. You're talking about, first of all, the Constitution. You say you never signed up for anything, but somebody else did sign up for you. You're the beneficiary of contracts that were made back then. Whether you like it or not, you're the beneficiary of it. And I happen to want those protections, and so I do claim that contract. I do own that contract. I have those rights given to me in that contract. Other people may not want them, but I want them and I claim them.
Pretty clearly, it's not a contract. If it was, they'd have to obey it. But to me, I'm not against it. Look, no. David, I'll go ahead and say that if I thought the Constitution was an effective way to secure freedom, if the government had stayed, the United States government had stayed the size that it was outlined in the United States federal Constitution, libertarians, no one would listen to them, because what are they going to be complaining about? Cops and roads and judges? That's not worth complaining about.
We wouldn't be here at all. We'd have to go find other jobs.
You're forgetting about the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rule.
Oh, yes.
And combined with might makes right. The contract is there, but if you don't enforce your rights, then, and that's part of the other thing that I was going to say that ties into the Area 51 thing, showing up. whatever contract you have, whether it's an ancient contract that you don't really see as a contract, or it's one you signed with ink on paper this afternoon when you got your cell phone or whatever that you do believe in, neither of them mean anything unless you're willing to show up and stand up for your rights, with the last line of defense being showing up with your body. And so, for instance, showing up at Area 51 is one of the ways. It's a model that should be used, all across government. You don't have to show up and fight, but if you show up and just be present so that you're seen, and then and confront, address the issue, be seen, refuse to go away, resist legally, make work for them, make them herd cats. Eventually you win. And if you look at that model, it's like the only model that's ever really won in these kind of things, whether you're talking about Gandhi or Martin Luther King civil rights struggle. It's the only model that really ever works is when people get fed, the American Revolution. You finally get fed up enough that you show up with your body. And you don't even have to fight. If you show up in significant numbers, the other army walks away, because they know they're going to die if they don't.
I will agree with you that most of the major successes throughout human history, at least the recent history, have had to do with people showing up. And it doesn't have to be, it likely will not be successful if you're ready to do violence or whatever, but people that are committed. And but at the same time, large groups aren't very good at getting what they want, because they get tricked pretty easily. So the famous quote from Alexander Haig is, "Let them march all they want as long as they continue to pay their taxes." And what happens is that they'll concede, right? Like they them those, right? The government people will say, "All right, you can have what you want," and then everybody goes home and they do something that kind of looks like what you wanted them to do, but everything just continues on as usual.
Yeah, nothing ever changes.
That's the mistake. That's the mistake. I suggest you don't march. I suggest you show up and you park your ass and you camp, and you don't go any damn place until you've got everything that is yours and it's secured, and then you go back to your normal life. And the second they act up again, you go back and smack them in the face once again until they can't take it anymore. And remember that the difference between if you're on the righteous, without defining righteous, when you're on the righteous side of something, you got a lot more stamina and stick-to-itness, because the other side, by definition, is a a mercenary. And the mercenary is not going to stay and fight in the mud to the death when things get really tough, when all they're getting is $100 or whatever they're getting. They're going to leave way before you leave. They're going to quit way before you quit.
How do you get most of the American people to actually stand up?
They won't rise up for much of anything.
No, season 4 of Stranger Things is on.
Because you're trying to do it all at once. But when people see that there's a small group, whether that's 10 or 20 or 200, that shows up and sticks to it and doesn't get kicked off, then more will join. A few more will join, and a few more will join, and then the momentum will grow, and pretty soon it's an overwhelming momentum, as opposed to the other model where we get 1 million man march, and we march 1 million men in there for 12 hours, and then it's all over. Well, anybody can wait that out, but if you go in, in a force that you can logistically support and stick to it, then more and more will continue to join you. And the other side will start getting real worried real fast as they see the numbers continuing to increase, as opposed to one big wave that comes and then is gone.
So I think it's worth mentioning at this point. It certainly doesn't fit all your criteria, but it's worth mentioning the bonus war. The bonus war was an event in, I think it's like the 1930s, might have been the 1920s.
I think it was the 30s.
Okay, and World War I vets were promised certain benefits, and they wanted them early. Basically, we're poor, and we're hungry, and we want our benefits now. And they went to Washington, D.C., many, many hundreds, if not thousands of them. I can't tell you that.
Yeah, it was thousands.
I wasn't prepared for this.
They were camped all over the
Probably
place.
tens of thousands would be my guess. And they camped out all over the what they could call the mall, this big, giant grassy area in Washington, D.C. And I think it was MacArthur who led, MacArthur and Patton were involved in this attack on Americans, which actually resulted in some deaths.
Yeah, didn't they shoot some people?
I don't think they shot them. I think they set some things on fire, and maybe there's some tramplings or something. But it was a cavalry charge on Americans by Americans for just Americans wanting some stuff from their government that they were promised. Now, would I say that I don't think the government actually violated any contracts in that circumstance, but people wanted what they wanted. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I was going to say, and your point is, and I'm setting you up. Let me tip you off. I'm setting you up a little bit, but your point is.
Well, my point is that sometimes people get organized, and the government will use military force against you.
Right. Yeah. Right. However, and what I would say to that situation, and then in my weak knowledge of history, I believe there was something known as the Whiskey Rebellion, which would have been something similar. But if you take those two situations, and especially the one that you outlined, since you're familiar with it, and compared it to the model that I suggested, I'm going to speculate that they didn't. They were close. From what I know, but I don't think they adhered as closely to the model that I laid out as I would suggest to them if they wanted to win their campaign there.
Thanks for the call, David. I would recommend to people to check out Erica Chenoweth's book, Why Civil Resistance Works. It is. There's another author there, but I don't have her name memorized. But it's elucidating in this circumstance why civil resistance works.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,000.